Welcome to New Orleans, where music fills the air and flavors run deep. We're going to introduce you to the food scene here in New Orleans. We're going to talk a little bit about the cocktail culture happening, and we can't leave New Orleans without trying to discover just what Southern charm is all about. I've been waiting for this moment. It's finally time to try some of these legendary food staples that you can really only get here in New Orleans. But you know what? Being a guy from the north, I'm not really sure what all this is, so I had to find a food expert, food writer, Lauren Godin. How are you, Lauren?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Okay, so I've asked you to pull together some of these items that you're going to give me an education about. Walk me through them.
Yeah, I will.
So first of all, I've got to start. What am I looking at here? This looks like it's just a massive pancake.
Yeah, it's a muffalata. This is an Italian round seeded bread inside olive salad, a bunch of different meats and cheeses. Very classic, very iconic to New Orleans because the workers along the riverfront, they were Italian workers back in the 1800s, and they would walk around and they would go from place to place and say, I need a little bit of bread, I need a little bit of meat, and they would cobble together the sandwich, which ended up being
Wait, this is not just for one person would eat this.
Well, depends how hungry you are.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, typically we do quarters for us, but I wanted to show you the inside.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there's a layer of olives, and then there's...
It's olive salad, and then in the middle you've got salami, ham, you've got mortadella, and you've got cheeses. Usually it's provolone and Swiss, but you can do any kinds of combinations.
So if somebody wants a muffaletta, where's the place? Where do you go? They're coming in, they maybe just got off the Viking ship, and they are like, I have to try that muffaletta. Where do you go?
They're going to hit the French Quarter and go to Central Grocery.
Central Grocery is
the place since 1906, and they are a wonderful, it's just gorgeous place to go, and that would be a one-person serving unless you're hungry.
We've got a lot to go through here.
We sure do.
Okay, so this is the po' boy, right?
So po' boys do come in, some people call them poor boys, some people call them po' boys. You can get seafood, you can get meats, you can get a classic, which is a ham and cheese, to be honest with you. Anything dressed means lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise. And of course, the most important element, the bread, French bread. New Orleans French bread is different than any other French bread. It's got a thin, crispy exterior, light, fluffy interior. Leidenheimer is a well-known maker of their French bread, and you pile it with fried shrimp or fried seafood, catfish, roast beef po' boy with debris and gravy. Those are the classics.
All right, so there's many different styles of po' boys and what you put inside the po' boys.
That's right.
And where do you say if they're getting off the river ship?
Oh, if they're going to get off the boat, they're going to want to get, they can go a million places, but I would say come to Parkway Bakery for sure is one of the classics. Johnny's in the French Quarter. It is absolutely endless. Almost anywhere you go, you can get a po' boy. Corner stores, famously here in New Orleans, are great for po' boys.
All right, and then you dip it in gravy?
Well, you can, or you can pour it on, but generally speaking, they're already really messy, and the question is, how many napkins messy? So the more napkins you use, the messier the po' boy.
Right. And this right here?
This is jambalaya. Jambalaya is a signature rice dish based on an African tradition, jollof rice. It's filled with meats and spices and sausage and so on. Sometimes it's got seafood in it. And next to that are beignets. We call them donuts here in New Orleans. We call beignets are just donuts. They are fried dough. They have a leavening agent in them. That's what makes them puffy. And of course, powdered sugar. Big no-no, don't wear black when you're eating beignets. Coffee and chicory, which is absolutely delicious for a cafe au lait. Try it all.
All right, you've been warned. Do not wear black. But
no.
I'm not wearing black, so I guess I can give it a shot.
It.
Okay, so this is the traditional beignet, right?
That's correct.
Like a really good fried donut.
It is exactly what it is.
Man.
And then that coffee, that'll put hair on your chest.
All right, I'm set. My advice to you is when you get off that river ship and you're hitting the streets of New Orleans, come here with an appetite. The line here at Parkway Bakery and Tavern has been going strong since about 10:30 this morning. So we thought we'd check in with Justin to find out just what the special sauce is here at Parkway. How you doing, Justin?
How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for
Good
coming
to see you.
by.
Thank you. So, Justin, what is the special sauce? I mean, this place has
Look,
been packed.
the special sauce is, as New Orleanians say, putting your foot in it, putting love in the food, using Gulf seafood that comes out of the Gulf of Mexico, fresh roast beef, slow roasted and cooked, doing everything from scratch, fresh baked bread every day.
All right, so you have like so many different varieties, though, of the po' boys.
Yeah, we probably have about 25, 30 different sandwiches here, po' boys, and it derived off a hard time. There was only one po' boy that started in 1929, and it was a fried potato and gravy sandwich to feed the striking streetcar workers.
Really? That was the origin of the po' boy.
That was the origin. It's a little more than that, though.
Okay, all right, so you got to tell me, what goes into the po' boy? So this one, what is on this one right here?
So the po' boy, it starts with the bread.
Okay.
So it looks like a piece of Italian bread. It looks like a French baguette, but it's not. It's so different because when you touch it on the outside, it's crispy, it's crunchy, but on the But on the inside, it's airy like cotton candy. It has that texture of cotton candy.
Yeah.
So it's strong enough to hold whatever you fill it with. If you fill it with catfish, oyster, roast beef, shrimp, it's going to hold it. But when you bite it, when you eat this whole foot-long sandwich, you're wondering where it went because all that bread just disintegrates.
Really?
So it's a perfect capsule to put our showcase, what we put in here in New Orleans.
All right, so and Parkway has been on this corner for over 100 years?
Yeah, Parkway's been here since 1911. It's one of the oldest po' boy shops in the city of New Orleans, and it opened up as a bakery. It was the neighborhood bakery. Where we're standing, and this was the neighborhood bakery. And when the po' boys came about in 1929, it was the height of the Great Depression, right? And the hard hit, a lot of people were hard hit all over the country, but one of the most hard hit here were the New Orleans streetcar drivers. And it wasn't just the streetcar on Canal Street in St. Charles. Back then, cars were more of a luxury, and there weren't any buses. Streetcars were the way to get around the city, and they were all over the place back then. So those guys weren't getting paid, so they striked. So some former streetcar conductors who had left before the hard times hit, Benny and Clovis Martin, had a coffee stand and grocery store in North Peter Street. They said, look, you come show your badge, and we'll feed you. We'll feed our poor boys.
Whoa.
Poorboys. We say po' boy, right? And it's culture you can eat.
So how many do you serve a day?
We serve probably about 1,000 of these a day.
1,000 a day?
Yep.
All right, well, it is lunchtime.
Dig in.
So do you think I can actually pick this up and eat a bite out of that?
I think you can bite that, yeah. Bite it right there.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna step in front of you here, and you just dive right in, huh?
Dive right in, man. Fresh Louisiana catfish.
Oh man, you're not lying there. That bread is amazing.
Yeah?
I mean, it's crusty, but yet it's moist, and it just like works with all the ingredients.
Yeah. And they say the bread is so good because it's baked below sea level, as New Orleans is a bowl, and the humidity. You know, the humidity helps make that delicious bread.
All right, Justin.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thanks for
coming by.
educating me on the po' boy. All I have to say is get here early, get in line, and do not miss the chance to try the Parkway po' boy sandwich. Since 1893, Commander's Palace has been setting the standard in New Orleans dining, also helping launch the careers of the likes of Paul Prudhomme and Emeril Lagasse. And currently in the kitchen is Chef Meg Bickford. We're going to step inside and have a conversation with Meg and talk about her imprint on Commander's Palace. Chef Meg, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
I'm doing terrific.
Come join me.
All right, great. Sounds terrific. Wow, you know, this has to be very special for you because you are from Louisiana, and then here you are, the first executive chef. What does it feel like to be running the kitchen here?
Well, sometimes I feel like I stand on the shoulders of giants. You know, this restaurant has been very important to New Orleans for a very long time, and a lot of very important chefs have come out of here. So I'm very honored. You know, my family is from South Louisiana, and so I just grew up with those Cajun and Creole roots, and this restaurant embodies so much of what I believe in and what I chose to do as my passion.
You know, let's talk a little bit about that. How do you deal with that here with changing palates, changing tastes, but at the same time staying true to the traditions of a place like Commander's Palace?
Well, I would say we don't like the word tradition very much,
Okay.
because we have been around for a very long time. And so to us, it's very important to be on the leading front of New Hope Creole. So we are ever evolving, ever changing. Just like the city of New Orleans, it is just a boiling pot of different cultures and communities, and that is always evolving and changing, you know? The city being a melting pot has never stopped. So our umbrella of Cajun and Creole is very vast, right? And so as different people come to the city, all of our tastes change and our techniques change, and we're introduced to new things and we explore new things. And so that is one of the most exciting things about our cuisine, and we are very fortunate here to have such a collaborative, excited, and creative team.
So now when the Viking guests depart the Viking, Mississippi, and they come up to Commander's Palace, and they're looking at the menu, would you have any suggestions of items that you think, man, I really hope that they try this, and I'm excited to be plating this up and have this sent out to the dining room?
You know, turtle soup is just such a classic. It's been on the Commander's menu since the 1800s.
Okay, I've been reading about that. I have to admit, I'm from the north. I've never had turtle soup in my life.
Well,
I don't have any idea what's in it.
We're going to change that
We
right
are.
now. We are.
Really?
Grab that.
First, tell me what is in the turtle soup?
Well, turtle to start.
Okay, well that's okay. That's good.
So turtle soup dates back to like the 1700s when the
Okay.
French settled in New Orleans. And so, you know, our cuisine is very heavily French influenced, along with a lot of other influences. But turtles were, you know, running rampant in Louisiana, and so that's the turtle soup was born. And we finish ours with chopped spinach and pressed eggs. We put veal with our turtle, and it just makes for a very rich, very elegant soup. It's tomato based, but there's tons of garlic.
Wow.
The Holy Trinity, Worcestershire hot sauce. It's
Wow.
great.
So you put your imprint on this turtle soup as well?
Oh, absolutely. It's absolutely not. It is the exact
It's
same
the exact
recipe
same.
that we served way back when.
Chef
Yep.
Meg, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready to dig in here and to try the turtle soup. Wow. Okay. All right. Holy cow.
Isn't that good?
That is really amazing.
Was it what you expected?
No, not at all.
I mean,
Wow.
it's
I-
rich, it's citrusy, it's bright.
I had no idea what to expect. I mean, this is amazing. I'm telling you, when you get off the Viking, Mississippi, get up here and try Chef Meg's turtle soup. This is unbelievable.
I'm so glad that you enjoy it.
Chef Meg, this has been absolutely delightful.
It has.
Congratulations on your time here
Thank
at Commander's Palace.
Thank you for joining
Cheers.
us in New Orleans.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Welcome to Le Petit Bleu. This is the cafe gem of Commander's Palace. Iconic Commander's blue and the striping. You will recognize it. What's great here, let's get some iced coffee.
All right. Lauren, earlier today you told me all about some of the staples, some of the items that people eat, you know, daily here in New Orleans.
Right.
But then you had mentioned the Grand Dames. So explain to me, what are the Grand Dames and who, you know, has this distinction?
Grand Dames means the great ladies, right? But it's not really gender specific. When we refer to the Grand Dames here, we're talking about restaurants like Commander's Palace, Brennan's, Arnaud's, Galatoire's, Antoine's. Those are our Grand Dames, the great lady restaurants. We also have a load of iconic, storied, stalwart restaurants that are very, very important, like Tujague's and Muriel's. Those are important, but they don't fall into our Grand Dame category, but they're very, very important.
Lauren, thanks for giving us some great suggestions on the daily staples and for the special occasion places to eat as well. If you come to New Orleans, you better come hungry.
Absolutely, no doubt.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
We're stepping behind the bar here at Jewel of the South, rated number 4 on the list of North America's best cocktail bars. We're going to be chatting with James Beard award-winning mixologist Chris Hanna, who's going to walk us through some of the cocktails that define the culture here in New Orleans. Start things off, Chris. How would you describe the cocktail culture in New Orleans?
Cocktail culture in New Orleans is thriving, and it's really important. A lot of people don't realize that we have so many things unique about New Orleans, like our architecture, our music. Jazz is very, very big, and it's like near and dear to my heart as well. But cocktail culture actually started in the whole world here in New Orleans, so it's very important to us.
All right, now it looks like you have some cocktails prepared for me here. We've been discussing some of these, and there's some classics here that I have to be honest with you, Chris, I've never heard of. So why don't we go through some of them that you have here?
Sure. Well, right here we have the Viking. This
Okay.
was created right down the street, the Montleone Hotel,
Okay.
by Walter Bergeron in the 1930s.
What is the Viking?
Viking is an homage to the French Quarter, Viking, the old square. It's actually named after the French Quarter, just like Manhattan's named after Manhattan. It's a whiskey cocktail, but it's whiskey and cognac. It's paying homage to a feud between people who think the original drink was cognac or rye. So this is both. So it's rye, cognac, vermouth, little Benedictine, and Angostura and Peychaud bitters.
Oh, wow. There's a lot involved in that. Okay.
lot.
And what do we have here?
Right here we have the Pim's Cup,
Okay.
which is really interesting because the Pim's Cup is actually an English cocktail. It's
Okay.
created in England. It's what you drink at the Wimbledon. But what we like to do here in New Orleans is we like to hijack things. So
Okay.
we made so many of them that people associate this drink with us, and it's very famous at Napoleon House, right down the street next to your hotel. Yeah,
Okay. All right. And here we have.
the French 75 cocktail, which is also this is a very important drink to me. We both have the same, very similar history, me and the French 75, because its journey to the New Orleans cocktail canon is the same journey as mine. We both started in 2004, and now it's a New Orleans cocktail, obviously created in France, but being reintroduced with cognac, which is what we do here in New Orleans. The world believes it's also a New Orleans cocktail as well.
Interesting. Okay.
It's very cool.
And what do we have here?
And we have the Hurricane.
Oh boy,
Yes,
the Hurricane. Now
the Hurricane.
I certainly have heard of the Hurricane, but I must say this looks a little bit different than the Hurricanes that you see served in many of the different places in the quarter.
Correct, and they're going to be made differently as well. But I mean, you should definitely enjoy one. It's a good daytime drink, just like the Pim's Cup. I'd walk around with the Hurricane. Pat O'Brien's is a beautiful courtyard. Enjoy a Hurricane at Pat O'Brien's.
Wow, what we have on the end here, it's like something I've never seen. It looks like a big glass of foamed milk, and it's clearly not that.
It is not. But this one is the Ramos Gin Fizz. It is our breakfast cocktail down here in New Orleans.
Breakfast cocktail.
It has an egg white.
That makes it a breakfast cocktail. Now, what I have heard about this cocktail is it's one of the most labor-intensive cocktails to make. And why is that?
Well, because of the egg white, it requires a lot of shaking. And when, the bartender's behind the bar on a busy night, it's one of the last things they want to do. So I think one of the most difficult things about the Ramos Gin Fizz is holding your smile when a guest asks for one.
They ask for it and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. It's but that's the way it is.
All right. Now, you're going to be making up two other cocktails for me. Is that correct?
I am. Yeah, we're going to do two other very historical cocktails here that are very important to the city, the Brandy Crusta and the Sazerac. And here's how we're going to make the Brandy Crusta. We got a couple dashes of Angostura bitters, 3/4 ounce of lemon juice, we do a 1/2 ounce of orange curacao, 1/4 ounce of maraschino liqueur, and then 1 3/4 ounces of cognac. All right, we're going to shake this with ice.
Chris, I hate to tell you, it'd be pretty tough for me to make this. I don't think I have any of these ingredients at home.
Oh, you will soon after you taste this.
Okay.
All right, and see, what I love most about the Brandy Crusta is my favorite saying about New Orleans, and that is, everything worth doing is worth overdoing.
Wait, so everything worth doing is worth overdoing?
Yes. So.
Well, I kind of like that motto, and I think I've been living it a little bit.
Yeah, if you've ever been here during Mardi Gras, you'll see what I'm talking about when
Okay.
it comes to the costumes. And what I mean is, look at this sugar rib. You know, it's like the audacity of using sugar to complete the balance of a cocktail was unheard of, and this is the very first sugar rim cocktail in the whole world. And if you're gonna do it, you should overdo it. So we have like glitter sugar, black sugar, black and gold for the saints, and then, you know, an entire peel of lemon. Everything worth doing is worth overdoing.
I like that motto. I think I can now see that on my gravestone, right? I love it. Okay.
Awesome.
You're pushing it towards me like I should try it, right? All right, first time here. The Brandy Crusta. All right. Oh, wow. That is really, I don't even know how I would describe the flavors. It's like something I haven't had before. With the sugar on the rim and the mixture. Go ahead. I mean, it's hard to explain.
Well, also think about the 1830s and 40s. This is the first time a bartender, a flamboyant bartender, Joseph Santini, was thinking with the audacity that the sugar is going to complete the balance of a drink. So that obviously was going to wow guests because you needed people to come in. So you have to, I mean, in New Orleans, it's such a showboat city, you had to do something for people to come back to you and like what's going to be word around town. It's the first sugar rim cocktail in the entire world.
That sugar on the rim mixed with the bitterness almost of the alcohol is just amazing, and then with the lemon.
Yeah.
I'm sold. I think I'll be taking this little recipe home with me, Chris, and you're right. I might need to stock my bar. All right, so you have another surprise for us that you're going to be sharing, which is another cocktail that is very, very important to the New Orleans cocktail scene. Is that right?
That's very correct. The Sazerac cocktail, that's coming right up. First, you know what we should do is ice this glass down. Pour a little absinthe in here. The Sazerac is our old fashioned. That's what we should think of it as. It's the New Orleans old fashioned, which is very unique to the city. So Herb Saint we made here in New Orleans when America took away absinthe. So this is all very, very special and important to us as well. So I'm gonna add a 1/4 ounce of this just to keep the anise in there.
So that has like a distinct licorice flavor to it?
Yes, black licorice, we love it. I'm gonna muddle some more of the sugar. Then I'm gonna stir with ice. So we have our whiskey, our bitters, our Peychaud bitters from New Orleans, sugar, a little bit of anise from the Herb Saint and absinthe. And once we've stirred to perfect dilution, our Sazerac's complete, except for the rolling of the glass, which is famous down here in New Orleans. If you get a little bit of the Herb Saint in there, roll it like
really? You
like
roll the
so.
glass? Okay, do that again. What do you mean? What does this do?
This used to be like, if you go to the Sazerac bar, they throw it almost all the way up to the ceiling. But it's just like, it coats the glass with the anise. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Try not to get any on you.
And try not to drop the glass.
Exactly. And here we are. Never complete without the garnish. One of the most unique things is always look down the bar and see that crimson color and a beautiful yellow and lemon peel on top.
It looks like you've made me the perfect Sazerac, right?
There we are.
All
the most iconic cocktail in New Orleans. That's our
iconic cocktail in New Orleans, kind of the go-to. And I'm ready to give it a taste here. Oh, wow. That is pretty amazing. When you're in New Orleans, you now know where to go for a proper cocktail. I'm going to suggest you order a Vieux Carré stirred and raise your glass to New Orleans.